Sean. My name is Ian Cortez, aka Rick2Wheels88, the same kid you saw drumming along to Linkin Park's What I've Done on YouTube. Now in my instructional video to you, I will show you my transcription, of course, how to count it, how to read it, how to play it at a tempo at 50 beats per minute, which I think a beginning drummer like you should play it at. Important concepts to know and understand, like the staff, eighth notes, quarter notes, 16th note rests, how to subdivide, and all that other stuff beginning drummers should know that'll help them in the long run. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Alright, the first thing you need to know in order to understand my transcription and how to read it from left to right is understand the essential concepts like the staff, 16th notes, 8th notes, where the notes go on the staff, then what part of the instrument is being hit based on its location. So, chapter 1, let's go. Right, the first thing is the staff. The staff is a system of 5 lines and 4 spaces that music is composed of and notated on. So, staff, this thing, this whole line right here, this whole line. 5 lines, 4 spaces, simple. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. And 4 spaces, space 1, space 2, space 3, space 4. And again, staff, this whole line, left to right. 5 lines, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and line 5. 4 spaces, space 1, space 2, space 3, space 4. Alright, so next stop is the notes. So we got quarter note, like this here, that takes up 1 and 8th notes that just take up 1 less than a quarter note. So a quarter note takes up 2 8th notes, and 1 8th note takes up just one less of what a quarter note takes up. Alright, so you got quarter note, 8th note, and you got 8th note rests, which is like 8th note, but it's a rest, self-explanatory. It notates silence temporarily. That means you just rest. You don't play anything for that time. And so how to count this? I count this in 2-part counting, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's the simplest way to count it. If you were to count it in 16 notes, that is quite a hassle, because that would be the bridge, as you see here. Because the bridge, the bass drums are in 16 notes, like here and here and so. When counting in either 2-part counting or 4-part counting, that's called subdividing. Right? So count this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you match up your playing with your count. Since when you count 1, you hit the hi-hat and the bass drum. When you hit the end, you rest. When you count 2, you hit the hi-hat and the snare. When you count the end of 2, you hit a bass drum. When you count 3, you hit a hi-hat with a bass drum. And when you count the end of 3, you hit a snare drum. And when you count 4, you just hit a hi-hat. And when you count the end of 4, you hit the bass drum. So this thing loops. I should have put repeat signs here, but it's not really necessary. Later on, after this, I will show you what it sounds like. Alright, next up, then you got the second part of the verses, or in other words, when Chester sings, "Let mercy come and wash away." This time Rob plays on the right cymbal. Same thing, he's playing quarter notes on the right cymbal, but however, so this is the typo I told you about right here. The last 8th note on the bass drum space on the end of 4, you don't play that. Alright. Yeah. So here, you don't play that. So he plays right cymbal on the quarter notes, on the pulse. Pulse is the tempo, by the way. And here, same thing. Not that much to like freak out about. It's just the same thing, except he plays on the right cymbal and he doesn't hit the end of 4 with the bass drum. Choruses, again, not much to freak out about. It's not that big of a concern. It's the same thing as the verses, except he hits the crash cymbal on this one. Same thing, he's playing quarter notes, but he's hitting the crash cymbal. It's a chorus. Alright. Now to the most tricky part, the bridge. So this is an exception where instead of playing quarter notes, Rob plays eighth notes. As you can see here. Okay, so yeah. So again, he plays eighth notes here on the crash cymbal, same as chorus, but 8 notes. And 16th notes. So you would count this as 1, E, and 2, actually 2E, because the snare drum is the 8th note. It takes up the 2E. So this, I'm just trying to break it down here. So yes, so this snare drum is the 8th note. It takes up 2E, and these, the and the duh. So then you got 3E and let me write that so you can see it. 3E and 1E and yeah. So let me subdivide it up so you can see it. There you go. 3E and 4E, because these are 2 8th notes. And again, note value wise, 1 8th note equals 2 16th notes. So that's why I put it in its simplest form, which is 4 and, but I put the 4E and the, so you hit this on the 4 and you hit this on the end. Alright, so there you have it. Subdivided, broken down, 16 notes for the bridge. Now, what would it sound like?